Hey guys, how's it going everybody? It's Jackie Felix here, and today I just want to make a quick video. I want to make this video as short as possible and to the point as possible. And it's about the new Node Wall changes coming to BDO. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware that Codebase is planned to overhaul the current Node Wall system currently in an attempt to try to make them more active for the BDO community. And yeah, so before we get started, I just want to say if you guys enjoy the content on this YouTube channel, please feel free to hit that subscribe button um, and give the video a like to help support the content. Alright, so yeah, let's get started.
안녕하세요, 서한결입니다. 누구보다 빠르게 하루 먼저 알아보는 2월 4주차 위클리 업데이트 시작합니다. 여러분, 오래 기다리셨습니다. 드디어 거점전 및 점령전이 완전히 개편되었어요. 와! 뭐가, 어떻게, 얼마나 바뀌었는지 궁금하시죠? 그래서 준비했습니다. 같이 보시죠.
검은 사막 거점전 가이드. 영지 단위의 거점전. 거점전이 이제는 영지 단위로 진행됩니다.
So, currently how the Node War system works right now is for during every day, there's multiple nodes across the map that you can drop a fort on. These range between tier 1 to tier 4 nodes, and they're not region locked at all. And so yeah, each different node has a different tier and different max participants. So some might be 60, some might be 40, 45, some might be 30. And they show you the maximum number of war heroes that can participate in these nodes. Now, with the new system, how this will work is basically the regions will cycle during the week. So I'll just show you guys this this video here, so you can see that on one day it will be Badanos, Serendia, and then so the regions will kind of cycle, right? I actually have a patch note of the codes. So here it says that for Monday it's Badanos, Calpheon, Karma, Sylvia. Tuesday is Serendia, Medaya. Wednesday is Calpheon, Valencia. Thursday is Medaya, Badanos, Karma. Friday is Valencia, Serendia. Sunday is all regions. Now, I'm not sure what this means exactly. Does this mean they just plan to remove Siege altogether? Because I didn't see any updates about Siege. So apparently Sunday is just going to be a big fucking brawl across all the regions, which is very interesting. But yeah, as you can see in this video, the golden nodes, I think they indicate the starting nodes. So these are the nodes which guilds can start on. And then the blue nodes are the linked or connecting nodes. So what happens is once you take control of one of the starting node, you can just then branch out to one of these connecting nodes and continue to capture them, and you can own up to 10 nodes. And however, what you can also do is you can select a central base once you own 2 or 3 nodes. And what happens is if you lose a central base, you lose all the nodes connecting to it. Or if one of your nodes gets disconnected, then what happens is you'll lose the node that has a gap with your central node, is from what I understand. Here you can see all the Medaya nodes, the Valencia nodes, and I see they've gotten rid of the Bassi area. So I feel like they should also get rid of some of these nodes around, the Crescent's node area. And I feel like they should also get rid of some of the nodes around this area too, around the Basilisk Den or Centaurs. It has some pretty AIDS-based locations. And here's the new region, which is Karma Sylvia. I feel like when they introduced the new Node War system, a lot of people want to try out the new Node War zone, which is Karma Sylvia. And yeah, all right. So that gives a pretty good overview of all the new nodes, the around across the map.
기존에는 특정 요일마다 선정된 특정 거점에서 거점전이 진행되었지만 이제는 영지 단위로 특정 요일마다 거점전이 열리는 영지가 달라집니다. 월요일에는
That's what it talks about here.
칼페온, 카마실비아, 화요일에는 세렌디아, 메디아, 수요일에는 칼페온, 발렌시아, 목요일에는 메디아, 발레노스, 카마실비아, 금요일에는 발렌시아와 세렌디아에서 진행되며 일요일에는 모든 영지에서 거점전이 진행됩니다. 거점전이 진행되는 서버의 해당 영지 전체는 PVP 지역으로 변경됩니다. 발레노스와 세렌디아의 거점은 이제 전부 1단계 거점으로 구성됩니다.
Now, this is pretty interesting. They plan to make Bayanos and Serendia only available to tier 1s. And I guess this is alright, apart from the fact that I think a lot of guilds do enjoy warring around Bayanos and Serendia. But I feel like locking off these two regions for tier 1 guilds is kind of a little bit, I'm sure, upsetting to myself and to other members in the Node War PvP community. While I do understand what tier 1 should be, from my opinion, is there should be a place for newer guilds to try out the large-scale Node War system with a gear cap. So they can get used to Node Wars and how to PvP as a guild and slowly grow. And then they'll eventually move up to tier 2, tier 4 Node Wars. They're ready for it. So I do agree tier 1 is a very good idea, very good system. However, I don't like the idea of limiting Bayanos and Serendia to only tier 1 guilds. And in general, if you look at these changes and you look at this video, a lot of these changes limit the amount of PvP you can have as a Node War Siege guild.
으로 점령전에 참여하려는 길드는 발레노스와 세렌디아 외에 다른 영지의 거점을 공략해야 합니다. 땅 따먹기 개념의 거점전.
So here is just explaining what I explained previously, how you start off at a starting node and then you can connect to other nodes, so the blue nodes.
생기며 최초 거점전에
And
참여하려면
also
반드시 이
explains
시작 거점 전투에 참여해야 합니다.
the Node War system
이후
as well.
점령한 시작 거점 중심으로
Like how
연결되어
you
있는
can gain and
거점으로
lose.
차차 영역을 넓혀갈 수 있습니다. 하지만 인접한 거점만 거점전을 통해서 획득할 수 있으니 공략하려는 다음 거점이 현재 획득한 거점에 인접한 거점인지
And the other thing I want to talk about quickly is that it's different to the current Node War system because this entire area here, all these battles can be fought within a day. So like when the Node War time starts, from what I understand, a guild can control. I think they can control one node, and then like multiple nodes can be fought over by multiple guilds, right? So I think I don't know what they're gonna do with the 2-hour time limit for Node Wars, if they plan to extend that or something. But there's still a lot of things I'm not certain of with the new Node Wars system. So yeah.
꼭 확인하세요. 그리고 기존에는 기존 거점을 점령 중인 수비 길드가 공격 길드의 성체를 파괴해야 거점 점령을 유지할 수 있었지만 거점전을 진행하는 동안 기존 거점을 점령 중인 수비 길드의 성체가 파괴되지 않으면 수비 길드가 승리하게
So here says, now if the defending guild's fort is not destroyed during the Node War, the defending guild wins and continues occupying the node.
되면 점령을 유지하게 됩니다. 한 길드가 영지에서 점령할
It
수
says
있는
each guild may
최대 거점
occupy up to 10 nodes, and occupying a node in one territory bars you from participating in other territory Node War. So this is another thing which really, I think, limits the amount of good fights that can happen, right? Because if you imagine this, okay, say like give the extreme example, okay, a guild like Cho Nation, you know they're on Karma Sylvia, right? And you know which node they started on. So a lot of guilds would actively try to dodge that fight with Cho. Because even, for example, in a personal experience, right? Like personally, I enjoy fighting Cho Nation, but a lot of people in my guild, which is corrupt, they don't enjoy fighting Cho Nation. Last week, we basically fought Cho Nation entire week, and it came to a point where people just didn't want to come to Node War. It's a very difficult thing for leadership to deal with. I think these new Node War changes also put more pressure on leadership and more people, members of the guild, because I think this is a more complex Node War system. It will put more pressure, right? So apart from that, I think if guilds don't want to fight Cho Nation and there are no Cho Nations on Karma Sylvia, then they won't go to Cho Nation, right? Like what happens is, so we know Karma is Monday and Thursday. If you take one of these nodes, then it literally limits you to be able to war 3 times a week, right? So if you own a node on Karma Sylvia, you won't be able to war in Medaya, you won't be able to war in Calphion or Valencia, okay? So it limits you on the amount of fights you can take, right? So I understand why this changes here, because if you make it so that like all the regions can be captured, like if when you own a node, then like a guild can just become really strong and just try to control the entire map on multiple days of the week, right? Another thing is, which is I heard that they'll plan to implement all the nodes as 100-man cap nodes. So my issue with that is even currently no guild on NA, or I don't know any guild that brings 100 people to any node war or even siege currently. So if you're implementing a 100-man cap for these nodes, right? What's going to happen essentially is all the smaller guilds, like we're talking about the 30-man guilds, 40-man guilds, even 50-man guilds, who can barely even scrape enough people to bring 30 people to Node War currently, they'll either have to form an alliance with another guild, or they just can't be competitive in Node Wars, right? Because no matter how geared or how skilled you are, a 30-man guild is not going to beat a 100-man guild in a Node War. It's just a numbers game at that point. Like, Cho Nation with 30 people, I don't think they would beat Corrupt with 100 people, right? It's the same. You can't, if you're implementing a 100-man cap, what that's basically saying is to all the smaller cap guilds, you either need to make alliance or you need to disband or just retire from Node Wars, right? Which, again, I think is very limiting. I don't like that idea. I don't like this idea where if you occupy a node from one territory, you basically lock yourself from not being able to node war for half the week, unless you merc, right? And that's another thing I want to talk about, which is the new merc system, where instead of it limiting the number of mercs per war, it's going to limit you based off your gear score, right? So you can either choose to maybe hire one 700 gear score player, or you can maybe choose to hire 2 or 3 or 4 lower geared players, right? So that's up to you. Now my issue with that is that, you know, people who like are less geared and are less valuable or less noticeable, right? They're not going to be able to merc into these other guilds for different days, right? Unless you're a friend or your close friend or you know somebody. Like the people, other guilds will take mercs that are valuable and are worthwhile, okay? So again, it's a very limiting aspect with these new node war changes. So yeah.
수는 10개이며 한 영지의 거점을 점령하면 다른 영지의 거점 전에는 참여할 수 없습니다. 모든 거점에는 부속 건물을 지을 수 있습니다. 하지만 코끼리나 대포 같은 공성 무기의 개수는 한정되어 있습니다. 이 점을 유의하여 전략적으로 부속 건물을 설치해 보세요. 중심 거점. 2개 이상의 거점을 소유한 길드는 거점전이 진행 중이지 않을 때 중심 거점을 지정할 수 있습니다. 3개 이상의 거점을 점령하고 있을 때 점령하고 있던 거점의
So here just shows how you can lose your nodes. Here says if you lose a connecting node from your central fort to like a connecting fort, and you lose this connecting fort here, then you lose this node too.
연결이 끊어지면 중심 거점에 연결되어 있지 않은 거점은 모두 파괴됩니다. 중심 거점을
And
파괴당하면
here it says if you lose your main fort here, your central fort, then you lose
안정하고
all your
있던
connecting
모든
forts as
거점의
well.
성체는 파괴됩니다.
So your central fort is the most important fort to defend, basically.
2개 이상의 거점을 점령 중인 길드는 중심 거점 설정 시 이 점을 꼭 유의하세요. 거점전 보상. 거점전을 점령하면
So here he's talking about the new node war system. What it's essentially saying is that instead of a guild collecting silver at winning at the end of the war, instead taxes are collected during certain periods of the day, and those get put into a guild bank.
있던 세금이 이제는 매일매일 특정 시간에 세금을 획득할 수 있습니다. 거점전에 승리한 길드는 까마귀
And also, when you win a node, you get access to a loot shop, a crow vendor. I'll show you the loot shop right now. So basically, there's two new crystals, which is a improved version of the special evasion crystal. It can give you up to additional 100 HP, and also they plan to improve the Akarad and Olika's crystals you can put in your awakening weapon, which is Dandy, another weapon, right? It gives you additional 1% cast speed and attack speed, which is pretty huge. Apart from that, you can also turn in 3 shiny medals of honor to give your perfumes and droughts additional 100 HP. Use them, and yeah, and they also give you a bunch of fail stacks. You can buy massive pure magic for 2, and this is 50 Caphras for 75 mil, which is a pretty good deal. So the new shop is pretty decent, right? Again, my issue with this is guilds that can't reliably win nodes, or aren't strong enough to win nodes, or for some reason don't want to win nodes, they won't have access to this. And apparently, if you look at this video here,
전쟁 상인을 통해 일반 상점에서 판매하지 않는
the
아이템을
more
얻을
nodes
수
you
있는 전리 판매
obtain or own, the better. I think the better the loot.
상점을
will get.
이용할 수 있습니다. 거점
Here
단계별로
says
구매할 수 있는 아이템이
occupying higher tier nodes will enable you to buy more kinds of items. So take your shot at higher tier nodes.
추가되니 더
So
높은
that's
단계의
like tier 2,
거점에
tier
도전해보세요.
1 to tier 4 is saying that like a tier 4 node will give you more rewards than a tier 1 node. Which again is like, so the players doing tier 1s will not have access to the players in terms of shop, the players that are doing tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Again, which is a very limiting thing, right?
도전해보세요.
If I understand this correctly.
이외 길드를 위해 헌신하는 길드 대장분들을 위해 길드
So again,
대장이
this
구입할 수
is
있는
a good change. I have nothing wrong with this change. GMs do a lot of work for the guild. It's very stressful, and what they're saying here is, for the GMs, you get rewarded by owning like super end game items like pen gear and pen accessory.
장비와 액세서리가
Buy from the
추가되었습니다.
shop.
더욱 커진 보상과 새로운 방식의 거점전으로 더욱 재밌는 거점전을 즐겨보세요.
이야, 정말 많이 바뀌었네요. 앞으로 우리 모험이들이 완전히 새롭게 개편된 거점전 점령전에서 어떤 화력을 보여줄지 벌써 기대되는데요. 이 영상은 저희 유튜브 채널에 따로 업로드될 예정이고 더욱 자세한 소식은 홈페이지에서 확인할 수 있으니 참고해주세요. 이번 주엔
So yeah, that's pretty much the video. One last thing I want to say is they're also planning to improve the like the cannons and structures, so you can now have something like a Zaka cannonball that does 20% damage to buildings, right? Or for example, a flame tower which gets 50% increased damage in PvP to players, right? Using a Zaka oil. And at the developer note, it says that at the end, we will do our best to make it more fun and fierce node war system, and we ask for many opinions. Well, this is my opinion of this new node war system, right? I would be very careful about making some of these changes. I'm not gonna say that, you know, if it's a fact, if this might, make Node Wars worse or better. I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that some of these changes are very limiting. So for example, the change where occupying a node from one region bars you from participating in Node Wars in another region, right? So if you own a node in Karma Sylvia, you're basically stuck there for at least 1 or 2 weeks, when I understand. Like, what if nobody ever liberates that node? Are you just literally stuck on Karma Sylvia? Like, if you keep getting that Karma Sylvia node, if like guild like Tronation and Black Roads keep getting these nodes, and then the other guilds know they're on this territory, on this node, then they just won't go there, right? They go to another region. And these guilds will get stronger because they get access to these tier 2, tier 4 node war shops, right? So again, I think, and also the 100-man cap, and the merc system, it's things you need to like think about. I don't know. It's a lot of changes coming in at once, and when you're making a change this big, I feel like you need to be careful about some of these changes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to go through. We've gone over 20 minutes. I don't think I could have made this video that much shorter. Anyways, if you guys have any thoughts or opinions, please put them in the comment section down below. Let us know your thoughts of the new Node War system, and if there's any information I got wrong or missed out on, please put them there as well. But yeah, apart from that, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck with hope everybody's transferred their accounts from Cal to Pearl Abyss. The maintenance will be happening later tonight. And yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.